May Musk has often said, in her calm, pragmatic way, that she never pushed her children toward genius or greatness, she simply let them chase what excited them. But the world rarely pauses to consider what this truly means. People here follow your dreams so often that the words lose their weight, like a mantra worn thin from repetition. But when a mother who has watched her son attempt the impossible repeatedly says it, and means it, and lives it, her advice carries a deeper resonance. It is advice meant not for a chosen few born with exceptional gifts, but for every dreamer who wonders if they deserve to pursue something extraordinary. If you listen closely, you may find that her wisdom is not about Elon Musk at all, it is about you. She often describes raising her children in an environment where curiosity was not only allowed but expected. There were no elaborate systems, no meticulously designed roadmaps, no strict insistence on perfection. What existed was a belief: if something fascinates you, explore it; if something challenges you, attempt it; if something feels impossible, try anyway. It is simple advice on the surface, but it is radical in a world that constantly tells people to be realistic, to stay safe, to follow the conventional route, to avoid discomfort. Her words remind us that greatness is rarely nurtured in the soil of comfort. It grows instead from the courage to reach toward what others say is unreachable. So what does this mean for the dreamer sitting quietly with ambitions too large to confess aloud? What does it mean for the person who feels an ache inside, a longing to build, to create, to become, but is afraid to take the first step? Here is where May's guidance becomes a mirror. She suggests that dreamers should not wait for permission. The world will not pause to hand you an invitation to pursue something extraordinary. You must create your own momentum. If you think about the journeys of remarkable individuals, whether Musk or any other visionary, you will find that the defining moment is rarely a flash of brilliance. Instead, it is a decision. A decision to begin, even when beginning seems foolish. A decision to continue, even when the path becomes hostile. A decision to trust themselves, especially when no one else does. That is the essence of a dreamer's courage, and that is what May's advice speaks to. Your life will not transform because you were destined for greatness, but because you chose to act with purpose. Most people imagine that dreamers have it easy, that inspiration flows constantly, or that confidence naturally fuels their actions. But dreamers are simply individuals who feel fear and uncertainty like everyone else. They just refuse to let fear be the final voice. If you are reading this with an unspoken dream inside you, understand that you are not waiting to become capable enough. You are waiting to become brave enough. Capability grows with action. Bravery grows with choice. Imagine a young dreamer sitting in a small room, sketching out ideas that no one else has seen. Imagine them typing late at night, building something imperfect but full of potential. Imagine them struggling, failing, questioning themselves. This person is not unusual. They are not marked by fate for some extraordinary destiny. They are simply someone who refuses to let the dream die quietly. And that stubbornness, the willingness to show up every day, is one of the greatest gifts a person can cultivate. This is what Elon Musk's advice speaks to when she says she allowed her children to pursue what interested them. She created space, not certainty. Opportunity, not guarantees. And this is what you must give yourself. If you want to pursue something meaningful, you must create room in your life for the possibility of greatness. Not the guarantee, but the possibility. That alone can spark revolutions. Think for a moment about what dreamers look like when they begin. They rarely resemble the confident, successful figures we admire. Instead, they look like ordinary people with extraordinary persistence. They are people who start with little more than a question: what if I try? That question is a tiny spark, but if protected, if nurtured, it becomes a fire capable of reshaping the world. The advice to dreamers is not about chasing fantasies. It is about daring to give your best self a chance to exist. It is about taking small steps toward a vision that may seem outrageous to others. It is about embracing the truth that you are the author of your own possibility. One of the most powerful ideas in May's philosophy is that life will not always be fair or easy. She does not glamorize struggle, but she acknowledges that dreamers must expect difficulty. When you pursue something extraordinary, you are no longer choosing the path of least resistance. You are choosing the path of growth. This means embracing discomfort, rejection, frustration, and doubt. If you can accept these as part of the journey rather than signs that you should quit, then you have already taken one of the most important steps toward your dream. Consider the dreamer who is afraid to start because they do not feel ready. They imagine a future version of themselves, more skilled, more confident, more knowledgeable. They wait for that version to arrive. But readiness is a myth. No great creator began as a master. Every expert was once a beginner fumbling in the dark. Every innovator was once a novice surrounded by people who did not understand their ideas. Every visionary was once accused of dreaming too big. You do not become ready before you begin. You become ready because you begin. Elon Musk understood that if her children were curious enough, driven enough, passionate enough, they would find their way. She taught them resilience not through lectures but through example. Her own life was shaped by challenges, uncertainty, reinvention, and perseverance. She modeled what it means to continue moving forward even when circumstances are tough. That is the message she gives every dreamer. Life may not hand you the best conditions, but you can thrive regardless if you believe your effort matters. Some people imagine that dreamers are lucky. But luck tends to follow persistence. When you show up day after day, when you pour effort into what matters to you, when you refuse to surrender, opportunities eventually appear. They may come slowly. They may come much later than you wish. But they come because consistency has a way of creating momentum. If you are someone who dreams of creating something meaningful, a company, a piece of art, a breakthrough invention, a contribution to humanity, you must begin by treating your dream with respect. Do not hide it. Do not diminish it. Do not compare it to the achievements of others. It is yours, and that gives it value. You do not need to defend it. You simply need to pursue it. Imagine waking up one morning and deciding that today, you will commit to taking your dream seriously. Imagine acknowledging that your vision deserves time, focus, and energy. Imagine believing that you are capable of more than the world expects from you. This is where transformation begins, not with applause, not with resources, not with perfect conditions. It begins with belief, but belief alone is not enough. It must be accompanied by action. Even small action. Even clumsy action. Even imperfect action. The world rewards those who move, not those who wait. Dreamers often fear failure more than anything else. They imagine that failing publicly will define them. But failure is simply evidence of effort. It is proof that you tried something bold. It is a natural part of the creative process. The most successful individuals in history have failed more times than they have succeeded. What separates them from everyone else is not genius but refusal to stop. When Musk tells dreamers to follow what inspires them, she is not suggesting an easy road. She is encouraging a courageous one. She is encouraging a life lived with intention rather than resignation. She is encouraging people to choose passion over fear. Every dreamer will encounter people who doubt them. There will be those who say the dream is unrealistic, too big, too strange, too ambitious. There will be those who claim you are wasting time. There will be those who cannot see what you see. But remember this, people do not need to understand your dream for it to matter. Their lack of vision does not determine your potential. You are allowed to want something extraordinary. You are allowed to pursue something meaningful. You are allowed to believe in yourself even when others do not. This is not arrogance. It is self-respect. Think back to the moments in your life when you felt most alive. They were not the moments of comfort. They were the moments when you were growing, learning, attempting something new. They were moments when you dared to push beyond what you thought possible. This is the natural state of a dreamer, seeking, exploring, expanding. If you desire a meaningful life, you must allow yourself to chase what sets your spirit on fire. You must wake up each morning with the intention to become a better version of yourself. You must commit to learning, evolving, experimenting. You must embrace uncertainty as a teacher rather than an enemy. One piece of Musk's wisdom is especially powerful. You do not need to be extraordinary to start, but you must start to become extraordinary. This is an invitation to step into your own story. No dream is achieved in one giant leap. It is built through countless small steps, sustained over time, fueled by passion and persistence. Imagine the dreamer who decides today is the day they will begin. They sit at a table with nothing more than an idea and determination. They work for an hour. Then tomorrow, they work for another hour. A week passes. A month passes. At first, nothing visible changes. But internally, something extraordinary is happening. Their mindset shifts. Their discipline strengthens. Their skill improves. Their confidence grows. This gradual transformation is the miracle of commitment. If you find yourself drawn to something, an idea, a craft, a problem, a purpose, do not ignore that pull. It is the voice of your future calling to you. It is the signal that there is something inside you waiting to be expressed. Follow that inspiration with seriousness. Give it space in your life. Think of your dream not as a distant destination but as a companion walking beside you. It is with you every day, waiting for your attention. It does not disappear when you get busy or discouraged. It simply waits. And the moment you choose to nurture it, it grows again, full of possibility. Musk's advice is a reminder that dreamers often come from ordinary beginnings. Extraordinary lives are not born, they are built. They are carved from countless days of showing up, from endless nights of effort, from unwavering belief in the worth of one's vision. You can begin this process today. You do not need to know the entire path. You simply need to take the next step. If you feel the spark of something inside you, something that refuses to fade, no matter how many times you try to quiet it, take that as a sign. That spark is your soul pointing toward a life that aligns with your deepest truth. You owe it to yourself to follow it, even if slowly. Many dreamers think they need giant leaps. But in reality, they need persistence more than intensity. It is better to move one step every day than to take 10 steps once a month. Consistency compounds. Passion grows with practice. Discipline builds character. The dream becomes clearer as you walk toward it. Every person who ever achieved something remarkable faced moments of uncertainty. Every dreamer has doubted themselves. Every visionary has wondered if the world would ever understand their idea. You are not alone in your fear. But you must choose whether fear becomes your cage or your compass. Let fear signal that what you want is important. Let fear remind you that the dream matters. Let fear push you toward growth instead of retreat. Remember that Musk raised her children not to be flawless but to be fearless. And fearlessness does not mean the absence of fear, it means the ability to move despite it. That is the true mark of a dreamer, so consider your own journey now. Consider what you want your life to look like in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Consider the legacy you want to leave. Consider the version of yourself you secretly hope to become. And then realize that the gap between that vision and your current reality is not bridged by luck, by talent, or by circumstance. It is bridged by choice. You must choose to begin. You must choose to persist. You must choose to believe. You are not too late. You are not too inexperienced. You are not too insignificant. You are simply at the beginning of a story that could become extraordinary if you allow it to unfold. This is the message buried beneath the advice of a mother who raised a dreamer. Your potential is far greater than you imagine. You have the strength to pursue what matters. You have the courage to step into uncertainty. You have the creativity to shape your destiny. And you have the right to dream without apology, so listen closely, not to the noise of doubt or the voices of limitation, but to the quiet guidance of those who understand the journey. They will tell you what Elon Musk tells every dreamer: start now, trust yourself, work persistently, embrace challenges, stay curious, stay courageous, and never let the size of your dream intimidate you. Let it inspire you. Your dream is waiting. The world is waiting. Your future self is waiting. Begin. You may not realize it yet, but the world quietly reshapes itself around those who decide to take responsibility for their aspirations. The moment you commit, truly commit, to pursuing what feels meaningful, something inside you shifts. The air feels different. Your vision sharpens. Your priorities rearrange themselves almost without effort. And suddenly the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable begin to look like invitations instead of barriers. This shift does not happen through force, it happens through alignment. When your actions finally match your inner calling, your life begins to move with a rhythm that feels purposeful and unmistakably yours. Think about how many people carry dreams within them like delicate secrets. They protect them, hide them, store them in the quiet places of their minds. They feel the pull of something greater but silence it because they fear being judged, misunderstood, or ridiculed. Yet what they do not realize is that every dream suppressed becomes a weight they must carry. It does not vanish, it transforms into regret. And regret is far heavier than failure. Failure is temporary. Regret lasts. This is why Elon Musk's advice resonates so deeply, not because it is loud or flamboyant, but because it is honest and firm. She speaks as someone who has lived through uncertainty and reinvention. She speaks as someone who chose strength when life demanded it. She speaks as someone who understands that dreams must be pursued even when the path is unclear. When she encourages dreamers to embrace what motivates them, she is reminding them that regret often grows from dreams unattempted, not dreams unfinished. So ask yourself, what vision have you been postponing? What desire have you ignored because it feels too ambitious or too inconvenient? What part of you have you been keeping small so the world feels more comfortable around you? And imagine, just for a moment, what your life might look like if you stopped shrinking yourself to fit the expectations of others. A dreamer's life is not about perfection, it is about expression. It is about giving life to the ideas that refuse to remain silent. It is about stepping into the fullness of who you can be, even when the world tries to define your limits for you. You must become the defender of your own potential. If you wait for others to validate your vision, you will wait forever. there will be days when your dream feels fragile. Days when you question whether any of it matters. Days when progress is invisible, motivation is weak, and doubt grows loud. These moments are not signs of failure, they are the proving grounds of resilience. Every dreamer who has achieved something remarkable has walked through this valley. They have felt lost. They have felt inadequate. They have felt overwhelmed. But they continued, and that is the secret the world does not advertise loudly enough. Persistence transforms impossible dreams into inevitable realities. Not genius. Not luck. Not perfect timing. Persistence. Each time you choose to continue, even when it feels pointless, you strengthen your relationship with your dream. You build trust with yourself. You prove that your determination is stronger than your fear. And with each small act of commitment, the dream becomes more real, more tangible, more inevitable. There is a quiet beauty in working towards something that matters to you, especially when no one is watching. It is in these private moments that character is forged. When you put in the effort without applause, without recognition, without external motivation, you shape yourself into someone capable of greatness. The world often sees only the final achievement, but you will know the truth, that the real transformation happened long before anyone noticed. Musk's perspective is rooted in resilience. And resilience is built by showing up repeatedly. If you can build the habit of consistency, even just a little each day, you will be amazed by what you can accomplish over time. Human potential is far more elastic than people believe. You can stretch who you are. You can grow in ways you never imagined. You can exceed your own expectations. But only if you are willing to try. The dream you carry inside you is not random. It is not meaningless. It is not foolish. It is uniquely yours because you are uniquely qualified to pursue it. No one else has your combination of experiences, strengths, perspectives, and passions. No one else can bring your idea into the world the way you can. That is why you must not let it fade. Imagine waking up one morning in the future with the realization that you built a life aligned with your deepest aspirations. That you honored the whisper inside you instead of ignoring it. That you took risks, embraced challenges, and grew stronger because of them. That you lived not by fear but by purpose. This future is not fantasy, it is the natural outcome of consistent, courageous choices. But imagine, too, the alternative. A life where you look back and wonder what might have happened if you had dared to begin. A life where the dreams you buried still echo in your mind. A life where potential was never explored. This version of the future is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to awaken you. Because the difference between the life you dream of and the life you fear is determined by a single decision, whether you begin. The world needs dreamers. It needs people who believe in possibilities others cannot yet see. It needs individuals who dare to stand at the edge of the unknown and say, I will try. Without dreamers, progress stops. Without dreamers, innovation fades. Without dreamers, humanity stagnates. It does not matter if your dream affects millions or only a handful of people. What matters is that it is yours and that it carries the potential to create positive change. You may think your dream is too small. But impact is not measured by size, it is measured by sincerity. A small dream pursued with heart can create ripples that extend farther than you imagine. Even the biggest revolutions often begin with a single idea carried by a single dreamer with unwavering conviction, and if you believe your dream is too big, even better. Big dreams stretch you. They challenge your imagination. They force you to evolve. They require courage, discipline, and growth. They make you confront who you are and who you could become. A dream that scares you is often a dream worth pursuing. Remember that every extraordinary achievement began as a quiet thought in someone's mind. Every groundbreaking innovation started as an idea no one believed in at first. Every world-changing journey began with a single step taken by someone who refused to let doubt win. You have that same potential. You have that same spark. You have that same ability to begin. You may not feel ready, but readiness is not a requirement. All that matters is your willingness to take the next step. The world may not see your vision yet, but that is only because you are the one destined to build it. And now, as this journey of words reaches its final stretch, there is something important you must understand. Every dreamer who rises begins exactly where you are right now. At the edge. At the threshold between who they have been and who they could become. At the delicate moment where imagination asks for courage. At the quiet crossroads where one choice can shape an entire future, you have stood here before, perhaps many times. You have felt the tension between safety and possibility. You have listened to the voice of comfort telling you to stay where you are. And yet you have also felt another voice, quieter but stronger, whispering that you are meant for something more. That whisper is not accidental. It is the sound of your potential calling you forward. The advice that Musk offers dreamers is not meant to make you feel inspired for a moment. It is meant to remind you of the truth you already carry. You are not here to play small. You are not here to bury your gifts. You are not here to be a background character in your own story. You are here to create, to attempt, to build, to learn, to grow, to transform, to leave an imprint only you can leave. And you do not need to know the entire path to begin walking. No dreamer ever does. The illusion of clarity arrives only after you take the first steps. Once you begin, the world starts revealing possibilities that were invisible before. Doors appear where once there were walls. Opportunities unfold where once there was silence. Momentum gathers around you slowly, then all at once, but you must start. And you must continue. The most meaningful journeys in life rarely feel dramatic at the beginning. They start in simplicity, a single action, a single decision. Sitting down to write. picking up the phone, sending an email, sketching a design, practicing a skill, trying again, trying again, trying again. These small steps are the heartbeat of transformation. They are the foundation upon which destiny is built. It is tempting to believe that dreamers are forged in moments of brilliance. But they are actually formed in the quiet hours when no one is watching. In the countless acts of discipline that build resilience. In the moments of doubt where they choose faith instead of surrender. In the repeated promise they make to themselves that they will not quit, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Your dream, whatever it is waiting for that promise from you. If you have carried an idea inside you for years, it is not too late. If you are just discovering your passion, it is not too soon. If you have failed before, you are not broken. If you are afraid, you are not weak. If you feel uncertain, you are exactly where a dreamer should be. Uncertainty is the birthplace of possibility. You are allowed to walk into the unknown with trembling hands and a determined heart. You are allowed to pursue something extraordinary even if you do not feel extraordinary yet. You are allowed to begin imperfectly, to grow gradually, to become remarkable step by step. You owe your dream the chance to breathe, and when people doubt you, as they inevitably will, let their doubt become fuel. Let their disbelief sharpen your focus. Let their limitations remind you that they are not your compass. You are not responsible for convincing anyone of your vision. You are responsible only for building it. Somewhere in the future, there is a version of you who is living the life you are capable of creating. A version who looks back on today with gratitude. A version who is proud you didn't give up. Proud you didn't play small, proud you didn't silence the voice inside you that dared to want more. That future self is cheering for you even now, because that version of you knows the truth. You are stronger than your fear, wiser than your doubt, and more capable than you can currently imagine. You have depths of creativity and courage that you have not yet discovered. You have potential waiting to be unlocked through the simple act of trying, and this is the moment when you must decide that your dream deserves a lifetime of effort, not a fleeting wish. You may stumble. You may struggle. You may fall. But you will rise stronger, every time. And as you rise, you will begin to notice something extraordinary. The dream that once felt impossible slowly becomes inevitable. Not because the world changed magically, but because you did. You became the person capable of achieving it, and that is the quiet miracle of persistence. Musk's message to dreamers is not just encouragement, it is a challenge. A challenge to listen to the whisper of your intuition. A challenge to believe that your vision matters. A challenge to build a life that reflects the brightest parts of your soul. A challenge to stop waiting and start becoming. You are standing at the doorway of your own becoming. The world will not push you through, you must step forward on your own. And when you do, everything begins to shift. Everything begins to open. Everything begins to align. This is your moment, this is your beginning, this is your invitation to rise, to dream without apology, to act without hesitation, to create without fear, to live with purpose, and to build a future worthy of the fire inside you. Take the step. Start the journey. Become the dreamer you were always meant to be. Your life is waiting. Your greatness is waiting. And your dream, quietly but powerfully, is calling your name.